right, you're just in time for the very last discussion of the day. But now this one goes to you specifically from home. Are you a parent? Do you have a child who just recently finished or did their Kenya Certificate of Secondary Education? Are you a recent candidate of the KCSE that took place even this year in 2019 or in the past? This morning we'll be talking about government-sponsored programs right here on Good Morning Kenya. It's all about matters KCSE, but the question is, after KCSE, what next? What do you do? Where do you go to? We shall be looking into, or highlighting the processes after KCSE examinations, especially for candidates in the transition to universities or colleges. Well, to help us understand this and much more, I'm joined by Dr. John Muraguri. He is the CEO of the Kenya Universities and Colleges Central Placement Services, KUCCPS. Karibu sana.
Thank you.
He is one person who has quite a rapport, or let me say a CV. Before joining the placement services, he was the senior assistant registrar admissions at the University of Nairobi and the deputy secretary at the Joint Admissions Board. And he is also the first CEO at KUCCPS for the past 5 years.
Yes.
That's
this is
quite
the
something.
Sixth one now.
Eh?
I'm on my sixth.
Now you're in your 6th year.
Yes, correct.
How does it feel? The first CEO, KUCCPS?
Well, it was not an easy task to set up the organization. Mm-hmm. It was created by the Universities Act in 2012.
Yes.
And established in 2014. That is the time the first board was named by the cabinet secretary. Mm-hmm. That time, Professor Jacob Kaimenyi. Then after naming the board, there was no framework. So he told the board, probably there was a gentleman who used to work where I was at the University of Nairobi, and he used to do this kind of thing. You could probably ask him to come and help you set up this institution. So I was asked by the PS to go, and I worked for 1 year as the acting CEO, helping to set it up. After which they advertised this position, and they did a competitive recruitment where they chose me as the most competitive. And therefore I was appointed by the minister to go and now serve on a substantive capacity. You
showed yourself approved, qualified for that position.
Yes, yes.
Congratulations on that. 6 years down the line, you've done quite a lot. And even as we have this discussion, I would like you from home to engage with us. The SMS line is 20154. Start with the word channel 1. Tell us your name and where you are watching us from. On Twitter, the hashtag is Good Morning Kenya. Tag me at Ramaguko, my colleague's handle at Jane Ombui, and the official station handle is at KBC Television. Keep tweeting, keep texting. It's all about matters government-sponsored programs right here on Good Morning Kenya. But you said KUCCPS was established under the Universities Act of 2012. But yes. Now I would like you to, let's dwell now further. Just a brief background of KUCCPS and, the functions that it has.
Okay, maybe it's good to remember, before KUCCPS, who used to deal with the admission of students to universities. This was a body they called Joint Admissions Board.
Yes.
And that is a body I also served for many years, because the secretariat was at the University of Nairobi, where I was employed then. Then this was a body where public universities were getting together and to decide on who will join universities and who will do which course in which university. And they had a very clear criteria, which was very transparent and open. Then because of this very good system they were using, I think the government found it fit to now formalize, have a corporate body that will be dealing with that, and also cascade this, not just at universities, but towards now TVET institutions.
Now we're revamping
the colleges. So this is how this institution was established, and its mandate was now to select or place government-sponsored students to universities and colleges And to coordinate the placement of government-sponsored students to universities and colleges. And what do you mean by coordinating? It is making sure that the available opportunities in our universities and colleges and the support the government is going to give goes to the most deserving persons. That is the coordination that we do. And we base our selection of students on merit, because if you have done better than me, then you'll get the opportunity before me.
Oh, okay. At the KCSE level?
Yes, at KCSE level. So performance and merit is our first and foremost.
I'm looking at, even as you mentioned the second and the third, your motto.
Yes.
Aligning
careers. Yes.
Mention that even as we say, you tell us, what are some of the achievements that you've made so far throughout this whole journey that you've taken till now?
Okay. The first thing I would like to say is that we have been able to expand the functions of placement to cover, we now said government-sponsored students, not just to the public universities that they used to go, they also go to private universities to study various degrees of their choice. We have also been able to move to the colleges, the TVET institutions. When we started, we were only doing diplomas. Now we are doing certificates and even artisan courses.
Wow.
So anybody who has done KCSE, regardless of the grades you have got, you have an opportunity to go and further your education.
Even regardless of your interests?
Well, your interest, we take care of your interest because we don't want you to go where you don't want to go. You must express some interest. I want to be a journalist. I want to be a caterer. I want to be a mechanic. It is important for you to express your interest. So we don't give you randomly. The choice or the interest you have told us is the one we follow. The other one is about the alignment of careers. I must say that the biggest problem is that people don't know the opportunities that are there and how to access those opportunities. So our biggest job has been to expose students and also their parents to the opportunities that are available and how you get these opportunities, because the opportunities are there. And one of the greatest thing I think we have done, we have published a career guide. We call it the Essential Career Guide.
I even love the packaging. It's nice.
It has everything. The journey, your career journey is described here. It came out this year. It was published for us by the Kenya Literature Bureau, and it is available in all our bookshops. Distributed by the Kenya Literature Bureau. So this is a copy that any student would want to have, any parent would want to have and share it with his child. Any teacher, especially the ones who guide the students, would need this book. It's available. It costs 350 shillings, subsidized price, and it has the guidance of the journey and the opportunities that are there and what you can do with them. I think I will talk a little more about it later. I don't need to go through the things it talks about here, but it tells you how even to do your self-assessment, to do your career planning, what is the role of the parent in career's choice, where does the parent comes in, which are the pitfalls that you need to avoid when you're making a career, what career pathways are there and fields, and what can you do with them.
I love that, we even have a book that can help students.
Yes.
Because for most people, after the KCSE, they don't know what direction to take themselves. They want to, get advice from different people, parents, guardians, relatives, uncles, friends, even, teachers. And you get divergent views, different opinions.
Yes.
Everyone wants you to do what they love.
Yes.
And you get confused. So this book helps you remove out of that pickle.
Yes, yes, it does that a lot. It is a guide. It doesn't tell you what to do, but it shows you the journey that you can follow and the options that are available to you. And now that you've mentioned the parents, I think I would like to also to address the parents here, because the parents sometimes are overbearing to their children in terms of the career choice they want to take. And these young people, as once they finish school, they have a lot of ideas, and they are living in their era. They are in a tech era. The parents could be in the era of, is it analog? Those who are lucky digital. So if you keep pushing the child to the way you believed things should be, your time, then you are holding the child back.
You know, some may want to live their life through the child because they never became a doctor.
There is a lot of that. We see a lot of that. Like now, every parent thinks it's prestigious to take their child to university. But what you do with that university degree, you don't know. But you just want to hear, oh, my child is in this university, my child is in this, has done this degree. But you have not asked yourself, what do I do with that qualification after I do it?
But then what would you advise parents to do? Because parents, at the end of the day, a parent wants the best for their children.
Yes.
Someone doesn't want their child to fail in life.
Yes.
And, you know, there were some memes that were going around on social media, some jokes that some parents have already bought for their children the motorcycles so that they can go and become boda operators even before they get the results.
Before
of
they
KCSE.
get the KCSE
Yeah,
results.
because wanajua and in the meme they said kwa sababu wanajua mtoto wao ni wajinga. What would you advise parents to do?
What I would like to urge parents and their children is that now that the exam is over and the results will come out, as the cabinet said, probably even before Christmas, you must sit with your child and ask him or her, what do we do after this? These are the opportunities available. Border borders are not the solution. It is important after your high school to train in a certain skill at whichever level. You can go to university and train to be an engineer or a lawyer. You can go to a TVET institution and train to be a technologist or any other field. If you don't pass as you had expected, and many times it happens, we will still have students who get D's and E's. As you may have heard Matilda Sakwa talk about it a while ago. The opportunities are there for everyone.
It doesn't mean getting a D is the end of life.
Even a student with an E has a chance.
Oh, yeah.
He can walk to a vocational training institution and enroll for a course maybe in painting. And if you go to all these people who are building, they want painters. They want masons, and so on. They are not there. He can go, enroll, do a course for 6 months, 1 year, come out as a trained and organized painter or mechanic. When you're out there, you can either get a job or employ yourself.
You know, this one now goes to all the parents outside there, but the
Yes.
fact that your child might have gotten an E, it doesn't mean they are failing life.
No.
Yeah?
And the
It's just a
government,
grade.
and the government has put in a lot of resources into this. First of all, any child who joins the TVET institution, to do, it doesn't matter, an artisan course, a certificate, a diploma. The government, for the 1 year you remain there, is supporting that child with 30,000 shilling. So that covers, the fees is about 57,000. So 30,000 is already taken care of. Then it has given funds to help, to give loans to these children. And you can get up to 40,000 from help.
All right.
So if you get a loan of 40,000 RAM, and then the government has paid 30,000, and they need 57,000, it means all the fees is paid, and there is a balance for this child to put in the pocket. Just
Pocket money.
Just like the people in university put some boom in the pocket. Even the students who go to polytechnics, TVET, vocational training, they will be getting the same. And they have been getting. This year, talk to them, they have got. So the question is, as a parent, why would you want to keep a child in the house when the government have put these resources, when you are not even required to pay, and the funds have been made available?
And the child has dreams and goals to achieve.
Last year, we were able, after doing a lot of campaign, this year we were able to get close to 140,000 students to the TVET institutions.
Interesting. And we'll be talking about TVET. That will be the next thing. But, you know, from home, make sure that you get a copy of this book. All right? The Essential Career Guide. You may not know what next. You may not know what to do with yourself after the Kenya Certificate of Secondary Education. This book will give you a guideline on what next for you, courtesy of the KUCCPS. It, you know, gives you key skills, gives you, you know, the ideas about the key skills and interests that are required to pursue a career in the field of interest that you want. So,
thank you.
this is an end to the quagmire,
Yeah.
you know, to the many seminars that young people go to. What do I do to get the right career? This book is for you. And it goes for around
350 shillings. It's the first of its kind. It's the first edition of our career book as KUCCPS. We want to receive feedback from the readers, the students, the teachers, the parents, and anybody, even the industry. And when we do our second edition, we shall incorporate the views. And our line is always open. We have info@kuccps.ac.ke.
All right.
Any comments?
Now, what are some of the opportunities that are there in TVET? You mentioned that earlier on for, you know, past KCSE candidates who have not joined colleges or universities.
Thank you, Ram. Like I was saying, when we are recruiting students for TVET, we don't ask you when you did your KCSE. But you must have done KCSE because, you know, government has a 100% transition from primary to secondary. So we don't want you to finish primary and go to colleges. You need to go to the next level.
You need to move step by
secondary. Because you are not of age to go into the labor market when you are a primary school graduate. You need to go through secondary school to mature up. Then after that, the opportunities are there. We don't even ask you, when did you finish KCSE? Last year, we were able to get students who finished 2002. That's how many years ago?
2002 till now.
Yes, 17 years.
Yes, 17 years.
They were able to, we got quite a number who actually joined TVET institutions to train in various skills.
Nice.
So even the people in this room are still open to go and join TVET and train for various skills.
I'm aware that that KUCCPS is currently undertaking two major activities.
Yes.
In relations to the
Placement.
past and 2019 KCSE candidates. That's what you're talking about. Maybe you can expound further on that and talk about what it's all about.
We have two parallel activities that are going on now. One is about the 2019 KCSE candidates. As they finish their exams, we would want them to submit their preferences of choices. And this is done through the school where you are doing your exam. We call it center application. The school is the center. So any student who is finishing Form 4, we expect them to submit the various choices of courses they would like to pursue. And it doesn't matter. And here I would like to address the heads of secondary schools. There are many of them who don't bother to submit their applications for their students. Some of them think their students will not do well, others.
Is that preconceived notion?
Yes, because in the past, you know, the only destination that was there was universities. And when you think your students will not go to universities, then you ignore the issue of placement. Today, we want to take care of all students from the ones who get E to the one who get A's, and we have a plan for all of them. So you have no reason why you should not submit the choices of your students, all of them. And you know, these students, when they leave school, sometimes it's very difficult to reach them. And that's why we want their choices to come through the school and the center. They also get some guidance from the teachers, whom we have sent some of these books, and whom we have some of them trained to be career teachers.
Oh, wow.
So they should guide them, and that's why we want to capture the information of every child. And parents, please ask your children whether their school submitted their choices to KUCCPS before they left school, because it is important. Otherwise, you might miss out on government sponsorship, either to universities or to the TVET institutions.
And it's very unfortunate that these schools can fail to submit such kind of information.
Yes.
Because we are killing the future of these students.
It is a pity, because some of them even charge, you know, there is an application fee of 500 shillings.
Yes.
There are some who actually collect that money, but they don't submit the applications. And the students come later when the results are out, and they find that some schools have not done that. So I would really urge those schools, especially those with the students who are not even high performers, to remember we want to reach out to those children. We want to give them some skills that will make them useful to themselves and also to the society.
You have a vast experience.
Maybe I can explain. The second thing we are doing is that we are also doing a TVET recruitment drive.
Okay.
For TVET, we don't stop. We are recruiting all the time. We finish with one cohort, we go to the next one. If our portal is open right now for those who want to join TVET, even the old students who had finished earlier, and anybody who goes to the portal, you can apply, and January, as early as January, you can join the TVET institution. And the beauty of it, the government has a budget to support you. This year, there was an allocation to support those students. So there is no reason why anybody should keep a child at home when the government have made resources available to give them skills to help themselves and help this country.
And I love that. You know, this discussion comes at a very good time.
Yes.
Because we have over average 600,000
Yes.
candidates this year.
Yes,
who start
correct.
for their KCSE.
Slightly more, yes.
And slightly more than that. So, you know, we have available training opportunities that they can take advantage of.
Yes.
Once they're done with, you know, a KCSE and once the results are out.
Correct. In fact, like I told you, last year we were only able, after a lot of campaign, to recruit about 130,000 for TVET. And you ask yourself, the remaining more than 300,000, where did they go? And the opportunities that the institutions had given us were in excess of 250,000. So we didn't fill half of them. So, and the government has put resources. They have established TVET institutions virtually everywhere in the country. They have put equipments and technology there, some of which is very modern equipments.
You are very vast in experience when it comes to dealing with the student placements and you know, admission,
Yes.
career opportunities.
Yes.
What are some of the mistakes that students normally make when it comes to choosing their career and even when it comes to applying for courses?
I think the mistakes are fairly similar to the ones they make even when they are choosing their Form 1 selection. I think they carry that over. If you listen to the Cabinet Secretary yesterday, he said hundreds of thousands will choose to go Alliance High School, Pagani Girls, and so on. People think you can only make it if you are in a certain institution, if you are doing a certain course. In the same manner, you'll find that students will always say, I want to be a doctor. So, I have talked to students when we are giving career information, and they will tell you, what do you want to do? I want to be a neurosurgeon. I want to go and study. They don't even
these things
know.
normally change with the time.
Yeah, many times they don't even know that to be a neurosurgeon, you must start from somewhere and keep moving. But they are in that fantasy. It is important for students to know that the career spectrum is wide. The fact that being a doctor is a good career, it doesn't mean all of us have to be doctors. It doesn't mean all of us have to be engineers and lawyers. They should look at other emerging careers and opportunities, which can even give them working opportunities very quickly. And I would also ask students and parents, when you are choosing a course, you must ask yourself, when I finish this course, what will I do with it? Even at TVET level, you will see a child goes and the parent says, oh, we are doing a diploma in applied biology, for example. But have they asked themselves, after I go through this 3-year course, diploma in applied biology, what am I going to do?
Because even as you talk about, government-sponsored programs,
yes,
you should know what program you're getting
yes,
aligned with.
Yes.
No, don't just go.
Yeah, and I also think it's also high time probably the government starts prioritizing where to put the resources. Because you find that there are many, because students are being paid for, then they are taking every other course in they find. And also colleges are mounting every other course, because for every student they take, they will get the 30,000 shillings support. But I think it's about time when we said, these are our national development goals. These are our big 4. These are the courses, therefore, we shall support that are going to support our national agenda. But not generally every course. I think that should happen, and it should not just happen at colleges, it should even happen at universities.
You remember there was a time we had a lot of debate with regards to the quality of courses that are being offered in our higher institutions of learning.
Yes.
And so the question is then, how do we protect our students from going the wrong direction and getting courses that might be rendered irrelevant or useless in the future?
Making the right choices. If you make the right choices, then you will choose that institution which is giving you quality and that course which is being offered in a value manner, in a manner that has value, such that if an institution then is not giving quality and then it is not attracting students, it will be forced to up their game so that they improve their quality and then they attract more students. That's one way of improving our quality, creating that competition, internal competition, whereby students have information and knowledge, and therefore they can choose where they will get value. And that will force everybody to put value in what you are offering and package their products better. Yeah.
Now, where are the KUCCPS offices located?
Okay, our offices are at ACK Gardens building. We are at Hill Community, they call it Community. There is a building there where we have rented offices called ACK Gardens. Okay. But the good thing is that our processes are fully automated. Rarely will you need to come to our offices.
So you don't have to come to
the
the
log
headquarters.
into our website, kuccps.ac.ke, you can do all that you need through your gadget, either your computer or your tablet. Indeed, we have just completed developing our mobile application, and we are rolling it out with this selection that we are doing. So even with ordinary, not sophisticated phones, students from wherever they are, they will be able to view all our information, download it, and then get the template of application, apply. If there's an application fees to be paid, pay through M-Pesa on the same phone, and complete the process from the comfort of your house, office. Even if you are in the shamba, you can do all that, as long as you have a bit of network or data.
All right.
Yeah.
Right. And I love that we are trying to go the technological way.
We are fully automated. We don't receive applications in physical form, and we process in an automated way. and we communicate to you again in an automated way. We receive all information in soft form. Yeah.
Now, I want us to bring this discussion to a close in a bit, but as we wrap things up, maybe you can touch on one aspect, because we're talking about students,
Yes.
parents, and institutions
Yes.
of learning.
Yes.
What do you feel needs to be done to bridge the divide, the gap that is being felt, so that we can have, a nation that is academically, spontaneous, so that we can be having a nation that has people who have gone and done professional courses, academic courses that, boost the nation, because they say that, education is the key to success, but then how do you bridge the divide so that we don't have, the mentality that at the end of the day, a student doesn't have to go through this process for them to be termed as successful?
Thank you. There are a number of things I would mention. One, we are living in a cross-generational era. The parents, the grandparents, the children, and their children. And we must look for a way of appreciating that we are in different generations. These children who are growing up and going to school and going to college belong to their era. We must accept that the things that were of value
Back then,
during our time and your time, because you are like my son, and now your child's time, are different. And not everything that worked for me and was valuable for me will be valuable for my grandson. Once you appreciate that, then you appreciate the era that you are living, and then you prepare the child to live in his era, and not in your era, which is already past. Parents must know that the times that it was just prestige to go to school, to university, to get a degree is long gone.
It's long gone. I remember when I was graduating, my father told me getting a degree nowadays is a normal thing. That back then,
Yes.
going to university was a big deal, especially in their village.
Remember, even there are times when going to high school and passing Cambridge was a great thing, and opportunities were waiting when you finished. When we finished, finishing a first degree was an opening. When you people are finishing, first degree is just basic. So we must accept that we should not take children to school just to give yourself the prestige that my child went to university. And we have so many who have gone and are having their certificates back home. They finish and go back home.
They are useless.
Because they are not useless, but they didn't ask themselves, what do I want to do with this qualification that I'm pursuing?
Okay.
So that's the question I'm saying. Every time you must ask yourself, yes, I have gone to invest in this, my time and my resources. What will I do with it at the end? Whether at university level, whether at college level, even at village polytechnic. There are people who go to colleges for 6 months, sometimes 3 months. They learn hairdressing or beauty. I've just seen a young lady here who was powdering me before starting this. She didn't go to university to do that. Maybe she went 3, 4, 5 months, learned that course, knows how to make people look nice. And by the time she went out, opportunities were waiting, including at KBC. So, who is better off? Is it that young lady or the person who went and did a general degree, carried that certificate and framed it and went back to the house, and he is weeding the crop back home? We must ask ourselves these hard questions now. What options are better for us?
Because sometimes we look down on some courses.
Yes.
Yeah, because someone tells you, I'm doing a diploma
Yes.
or a certificate in this course, you're like, so
That person who is doing those little things could be the one giving fare of 100, 200 shillings to the brother who has a degree somewhere kept in their house.
Hello, I am Crispus, right from Kirinyaga. I did my Form 4 in 2014 and attained a C+. Can I join a university through government-sponsored programs? Question, yes.
2014, no. Because in 2014, we were not taking all those who had C+ and above. Yeah.
So from which year are you accepting?
I think the last 2 years is when we have taken everyone. Call it during the Matiang'i era.
Okay.
Yeah, when the grades came back to normal, we have been able to clear everyone with the resources that the government has. Yeah, that is 2017 and 2018.
So from so if at all you did your KCSE from 2017, kuendelea nyuma, 2017
2016.
Henceforth,
there was a cutoff.
there's a cutoff point.
Yes, yes.
But from 2017, you accept all grades.
Yeah, I think we have accepted. The last 2 years, we have taken everyone. Yeah.
All right. Thank you very much, Crispus.
But the opportunities, remind him that the university is not, I've just said it, it doesn't have to be just university. There are very good opportunities in our polytechnics, in our other institutions, where people with C+, B, and B minus, and B plus go. In fact, students nowadays opt not to go to university, and they go to technical institutions to study courses that will give them skills to start becoming useful immediately. Yes, that has happened.
All right.
And the numbers have also changed. You can see we are taking 131.42, the TVET institution, while we are taking 78,000 to universities.
I think at some point maybe we need to come out of the notion that for you to be considered as successful, you should not have done these things that everyone else is doing. You can be able to choose your own path.
You must be unique. Yes, you must be unique. And there are so many emerging careers that are not necessarily the traditional careers of doing medicine, engineering, law, and so on. Ask the young people. And remember also the SME sector is a big consumer of these skills. You train in skills here and there, and by the time you go to that informal sector, you have something to do. You find somebody who has a garage, he will employ you. Somebody who is building, he'll make you a plumber, and so on. And you start earning a living.
I love that.
Yeah.
I love that. What is a message, as you bring this discussion to a close, to the Kenyan youth who are looking for skills?
As my people say, the younger ones, my youth, opportunities are there. The money is there. The government has made the money available. It has invested in our institutions, especially the TVET institutions. There is no need. Ukienda huko unapata mayouth wanasimama kwa maduka, kado ya barabara, stage, na wengine wako idle. Just walk to the nearest TVET institutions or open your app and look at the website of KUCCPS and apply. In January, you could be training in something that will help you and also help this country to achieve its national agenda.
All right.
Thank you.
That is Dr. John Muraguri, the CEO of KUCCPS, Kenya University and Colleges Central Placement Services, KUCCPS, aligning careers. Thank you very much, Dr. for joining us.
Thank you.
You've shed light on this, and we have at least talked about what Kenyans need to understand.
Yes, thank you very much. It was my pleasure.
Thank you very much. Even for your tweets, keep texting, keep tweeting. The SMS line is on 20154. Is the number. Start with what channel 1, tell us your name and where you're watching us from. I'm seeing 2 other people have sent in their text, but wameandika to channel 1. Just say, start with channel 1 and tell us also your comments and your questions with regards to this. On Twitter, the hashtag is Good Morning Kenya. Tag me at Ramagugo, at KBC Television, at J Nombui. That is what brings us to the end of this show, Good Morning Kenya. See you again tomorrow morning for another edition, as from 6 a.m. all the way to 10 a.m. It has been a pleasure having you on board. May God bless you. May God bless the work of your hands. Keep learning. Keep educating yourself. My name is Ram Aguko.